be opening up my streams on both YouTube and Facebook. I'm just here to go over a Blender project I've been working on. You'll see in the bottom right hand corner I have you'll see a second window down here, and that is this model that I've been working on. It is a procedural dimension where anything that I have these two dimensions, I'll be able to manipulate them, and then hopefully once I get it working properly, they will have these two extruding out, so it'll look correct and they'll actually be able to use it much better. Now, in order to do this, I've been kind of working on this project for a few months, but I've come quite a far ways. So today I'll be just going through what I've got, revisiting some of the nodes that I haven't touched in a long time, and we'll go from there. I hope y'all have a great time watching. I might talk a little bit. I have some background music playing from Spotify, some no copyright sounds, and this should be good. So I hope y'all have an excellent time. One of the main things is I need to go through here and change all of these to align rotation to rotation. So I'm going to just swap them out. Let's go here. I believe I can switch. No, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Y, factor 1. This is going to be my vector rotation, and we're going to use that as the rotation for there, but keep it in here. So we can delete that one. We can take the tangent into this one, and boom. And that one's all figured out. Let's go to, I believe I have another depreciated one. Down here, yes. So we'll just go ahead, align euler, rotation to vector. And we'll go ahead and put the tangent as that. Then we've got on the X. And you can see, I'll go ahead and put this on a player. So it'll have just kind of a constant 3D view of what is going on. I'll bring this up over here as well. So, let me see. Just move this so you guys are able to see that a lot better. There, and we'll just hide that. Good. So, let's go ahead and see what I can do. Depreciated. So I want to take this and move this up here, so we got just all fixed up. And this has been kind of a project I've been wanting to do for a long time. It started off when I was doing my first shop project, and that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on edit mode. You see how the position, whenever I have this, I want the origin to be at the geometry, but I need this to extrude from here, so I need to sample the position of those edges. Let's just go ahead and throw this in the center here. There we go. There we go. And then I'm gonna just position this empty straight in there, and then we can always just have this. I'm gonna set one of these to there, another one just kind of out in the blue, and there we go. So you can see the edge and you can see kind of what it's doing there. But it's gonna be kind of a longer process to do this one. Let's see. Once we get into doing this, let's see. So we got our text offset, which is just moving that to the center, and that seemed to actually work really well. I'm gonna go ahead and go in here, pin this. I don't need to bevel this quite yet, because that'll definitely take up our, so what I can do is just boom, and so you can see the scale's working out well. Line thickness, yeah, it's working. The height above is what's kind of being a pain, so we'll need to fix that. Text height seems to work decently well. space between the empty. That is not working well. And the text height, okay, that works well. Okay, so a few things we need to work on. Text height above dimension, that's working. And what I can do, height above dimension. So let's see here. We have our mesh text. We're setting our text, that's pretty good. We're setting the rotation of the text to be the same as that, and that's working really nicely here. One of our main problems is just getting the center line. We're gonna sample this, and since we have our line, we're taking that, we're sampling it, we're setting it to 0, but we need to find the position of these. So the Y, so that is taking the correct position. Delete that viewer real quick. So we do have that, and I'm gonna go ahead and undo that. Yeah, there we go. Put that there. Boom. And so you can see it's working, but the offset is not good, not good. So we'll just go, you can see how it's also doing it upside down. So we'll just, what I can do is we'll just go ahead and throw this geometry in here. Instance on points, set those to points. Let's put the instance as a cube, just a small. This will just help set us up. And then we'll go. Let's see. We're gonna be want fill curve. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this like curve, take that out. Let's move. So we'll use this curve, which is the same exact thing. We're just putting it through. And I believe. Yeah, and so just kind of working on this, just keep going. And as stuff comes up, I think it'll be a lot easier. Setting up my stream chat over on the side here. There we go. So now if y'all have any questions, I'll be able to get that easily. I'm gonna pull up this and we'll be able to see. Just making sure our stream's working well. Okay, that is great. And it should show that I'm live on YouTube as well. This is great. Let me change a few things because it looks like it's trying to tell the description, kind of promote itself. But what I would like to do is Blender. All right, we're gonna update all those. So now it should be, let's edit this. There we go. And we're just gonna make sure we delete this section. There we go. And now it should be live for public view. Oh, cool, and it's got some auto captions going on there. Checking YouTube, just make sure that works. We're gonna edit this post. Edit video. Yes, please. And so we're just going live and making sure all our settings are right. And now we can go back, and that looks great. Yes, awesome. So now it should all be really good. Yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so now that everything's actually working properly, we can get back to this. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can, well, let's start over by explaining. So what I'm doing here is I have in the bottom right hand of the screen, you'll see this text object. It has kind of a 2 dimensions. What I'm trying to do is get this so that I'll be able to set the position to any point and it will snap itself correctly. You can see there's a slight offset here. So fixing that and figuring out if there's any other issues in the mesh, we'll be able to determine if there's any more problems. And you can see, like, when we put the origin here, it sets that offset, but that's correct because we'll be able to put since it's a segment just with 2 points, we'll be able to make sure this works at any time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and set up so that we'll have this mesh as well and just be able to see that. And what we should do is actually instance, I want to instance on that mesh line, and let's see, yeah, it's not gonna work. What I can do though is I can set the instance and cubes. I did this a few minutes ago, but I'm gonna do it again because why not? You see, I'll be able to set this cube size a lot less, and then we can just join geometry this to our last section and just go here. Okay, final. Okay, merge by distance transform. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just put it on the side here. This and that. Okay, now we should be seeing everything once we delete this viewer node. Amazing. So you can see the 2 points. I'm gonna set these a little bit smaller. And there we go. So we'll be able to see kind of what it's doing at any time. And I'll offset these values a little bit so that you can actually see kind of what's going on. And set the rotation to be the normal. So go rotation. Let's go here. But I believe it should be, okay, you can see, so we'll go 90. Yeah, so it's got a few issues with it, but for now that'll work pretty well, I think. Just demonstrating these are the points that we're working with. And I'll go ahead and show this empty again. There we go. And that looks a lot better. There we go. And now that should be a lot more viewable. We'll go ahead and check this. It's doing really well, so that is excellent. So from there, we are gonna want to, so we have this, we just want to be able to do that. Scale this up so we get a nice big area. And very good, very good. Let's see. We are gonna check. So we're just kind of going through because it's been a while. So it's saying the offset there correctly. You can see we've actually taken the length and it's working well. Let's see, that's checking that second point. So we're right here, we're just checking the curve length of this original mesh, which is just that. So let's see, we got mesh line, and you can see we just want 2 of those because we're using the edges. We're going to set the offset, and you can see what that actually does here. I believe is it should, yeah, it's just rotating it correctly, so you can see when it's kind of like a shear factor in my opinion, so it's a line thickness when we multiply it. So we're just when we change the line thickness here, it's going off of that center, and that is doing actually really good. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so let's see what else. So this is our vector there, our y. We don't need to change that. What we do need to fix is this whole offset idea, because for whatever reason it's taking, okay, so this is just x to m. I made this a while ago. It's just an offset tool that sets the line thickness. Let's see. So if we're taking this and we go by the normal, we will be offsetting that. Okay, good. So that's a center, and then these are the edges, which are these sections. And so if we go in here, let's take a look. So we got the offset correct. This is taking that original position, and so what we should be doing is actually, let's see, there should be no height above dimension, which would be, and it's the correct offset, but as you can see here, like what we need it to be is going from those points like that. So if we go here, let me take a look at this. This is kind of where it gets to be a little tricky, because then once we start taking the rotation, and this is working well. What I did earlier is align rotation, rotation. We're taking the tangent on the x and we're plugging it in there. We just want to take away those depreciated values. There we go. So starting off, this is just checking the points and then instancing these on it. But what we need to do is we need to set this, so it's taking this original curve value, and this is just, let me join this. This is points in question. It's just kind of fun. I like to name things, keeps things organized, and that's always fun. What we can do now is we'll go over here. So these are the instances. We need to set the position. I'm going to break this down. So we have our height above dimension. I like to keep everything kind of similar. And so that's the original edges. We need to set the offset. The offset is actually correct. The issue with it is when we do that, we want to, okay, so that's the extrude. So we actually, yeah, I think it's that offset, because the transform, okay, that's a side to side. This is our scale value. Let me take a look here. Yep, so that's good. It's all working on that normal, but what we really need is that original point, which is this extrude, and that's the tricky part with this whole thing, is the offset is not necessarily, it's not straight. So the start location should actually, no, I don't think so. So what we can do, I believe we have the sample curve here. Let's also Align rotation to rotation. We just really like to do this. This is X. Okay. So there's that. And this is just so we get our, I believe tangent. Okay. So we can set things so that they are actually going on the normal. But since we're sampling this curve, what I can do is I'll take this, just give me some room. We're gonna take this tangent, and I believe if we plug it into that, because the position of this original vector math, if we play around with these values, we should be able to get something more correct. And once we set something in like this, it's not valid because it's actually not a thing. So if we multiply, let's just bring this up, so much easier. Let's take the position by the, well, it should be the normal is what it should be. Multiply, add, so we can kind of see what's going on here. So, and this is just to set that mesh line. And when we do that, we want to be able to set that, and then the offset is the direction. So let me do this. I'm gonna just move this over. Let's see what goes on here. Let's see. So that we got. And I also wanna, what I wanna do is to do another drawing geometry so we can see this in action here. There we go, join geometry. I want to join it with this so we can actually view that, which will show us the actual points. And setting the position of this, what is that? Alright, so that's just finding, let's go X. So our transform here. So yes, we're instancing it on these. And then if I take this as well, let's see. So we've gone through that. This is just to kind of help check things. But what we really need is that original position to be from those points. And it looks like it's doing that there. So the issue seems like it might be that this, so we got that. So what's this one doing? So it's inverting it? Let me just see. Because, take a look here. Let's undo this viewer. So that was working. So it's, so something, yep, it's taking those positions. So we did that correctly. So something in the translation after this, and it needs to be, let's also just bring this down. Bring this over there, over there. We're gonna do this, this. So you can see those original points. Now we need to translate this along its normal, which I think is where the issue is coming in. Because you can see there, yeah. So this is where the issue is. Something in this node group is making my entire life miserable. So we're gonna fix that by taking time to complicate things a little bit. But in the end, I think that's what's gonna make it valuable, because we really need to see this. We see that and that. I'm not going to view that. And then we're going to go through here and just see kind of what's going on. So we're multiplying here, we're sampling that. We want to move it. You can see we should be moving. So we're taking the X and Y. The normal, if we do, this is where it really gets kind of tricky, and this is why I've had such an issue with this model before, is because once we start getting in variables that come in from this geometry input, it kind of gets tricky. But if I look at these, it should be working just fine. Except we want to set, oh, one of my monitors just turned off. That's great. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So that's working. And this needs to be on the normal. So when we add this, it should be going into, oh, there's no reason to have this. What is this doing? No, it should be multiplying that by the normal. Let's see what's going on here. You can see like what we're doing here is kind of just trying to keep it as simple as possible, but kind of figuring out what's gone on here is the tricky part. So we're gonna looking at, okay, so that's an X. So what we need to do is we need to vector math, multiply and add. We're gonna add a vector, so it's still going on the X. Multiply, add. So yeah, X, Y, Z. Okay, that's our issue. This whole thing is not working properly. So I'm gonna take curves. Yeah, we want to sample the vector, but that's just for the top input. If we took the normal in here and then we took this, yeah, this is where it gets really tricky. It's just working with all these different vectors and seeing what's properly changing. So this, let me pull up the original because now I'm missing that. There we go. Multiply by 1. Okay, and then that we'll be able to see what's going on. So it's still going along the X there. So it's trying to find, and it should be, okay. And Z, is that normal? And this is where it's like so difficult, because once we get that third dimension of rotation and translations, it becomes very, very difficult. So factor 0.5, if we do that, it's really, really different, because some of this is just complicated, but some of it's complicated and annoying. So it's really a balance of, so like there we've locked these two dimensions. You can see they won't move because we got the X and Y rotation. If we throw the tangent into one of these, that's where it gets another, or both. We got our X, and it's not quite working. The Y, not quite right. So it's partially not sampling this curve correctly, and it's partially just kind of trying to figure it out. So working with this it's just different, and you know, you see a lot of different things. Dun, dun, dun. Just checking on my live. Yeah, so this is kind of like, it's really interesting, kind of difficult, but at the same time it's so rewarding because with this vector map I feel like I learn a lot, especially when it comes to things like this, the line rotation. It's just kind of new. So when I'm looking, let's say, I just want to depreciate that. I'm gonna just take one at a time, and we're gonna figure out why it's not working. We want to make sure each of them works. It's gonna pivot. I want to sample that normal, and I want to sample not the normal of the curve, maybe, because if we try, and of course we gotta remember I'm multiplying by that, so if I just do this, that changes a lot already, because now I'm multiplying it by what? So this might very well just work. I'm gonna take this into that, and take this into that, this into that, x, y. So it's multiplying, all right. It's got an x and a y. I think it's gonna be, the challenging part is, let's go combine x, y, z. Let's go in here. Let's go this for the x. Okay, we could take that float. Float integer. That's gonna be, no, because we need it to be a float still, so math. If we always, like, this is kind of fun. It's just, okay, put that in there, add 0 to it. It's not working, so separate, not separate. Yeah, okay, there we go. That works a lot better. And I need to, so it's yeah, because it's very frustrating to work with. And so if we take this, it should be working better, at least. And you can see it's working out with those points. I'm gonna set these all to, there we go. Because now we're able to see kind of just a square points it's actually intersecting. Taking this, that is, and these are those points. Yep, that's all. Let's say, and so this is, okay, so we're looking at a transform. We're going through here, taking these, multiplying, and you can see, so we're adding, no. So we're still taking this normal, which I think is, of course, a factor here is going into this. So all this vector math is really what's driving this right now. which kind of worries me because I can't see all these values very well. So we're adding the height above dimension, which is this, and that's kind of, I want to already translate the whole thing before we do that, because it's gotta go on its normal. So we're gonna I'm gonna actually, yeah, transform this height above dimension x to m. Plug this into that. Separate x, y, z. Sorry, combine. There we go. Z. But it's not the Z, it's the right. So we need this, which is somehow gonna have to go into that, and it's gonna be like we're aligning it like we are here, and we're saying, okay, we want the rotation to be like this, taking the tangent, we've got it on the X, and then we set the rotation to that amount. So if we actually, I wonder, okay, that did something kind of interesting, I think. If we take this out, maybe. Yeah, okay, so it's rotating around that central point. If we get the normal, take the tangent. The tangent's always my friend. X, Y. Let's go ahead and delete those. I would really like to see this all work properly. That's a big ask, so let's say and let's go 0.5. Taking the tangent, putting in the X rotation, put this into the rotation. What does that do? Just that alone. Okay, as long as this is, it's going along that. Doesn't look like it's pivot. Let's go Z. See, it's still trying to lock it. Okay. So we have this one. I'll take another look. So X rotation is fine. Nope. Yeah. So, you know, working on this, it's a little bit different, but I think that's kind of the beauty of it as well. So we'll just kind of keep going with this and keep trying a few different things. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, just kind of let things sink in. Because if we're going to the rotation and then we take this as the translation on the Z, take that as the translation maybe, but it's still not translating on the normal. So sampling the curve is like kind of throwing me for a loop as well, because that Z is the global Z. So I'm gonna go here, I add like, it's not quite right. X, Y. And of course I'm always doing this wrong, combine that. But it's still global Z. So we want it to point, we want this vector to point at this. Is that correct? Not quite sure. Okay. just kind of working my way around this is like, it's kind of the tricky part. Let's see, what we got? We'll take this as a rotation. Set these to 1, 0. It's a rotation around a Z. We want it to lock onto the, yeah, but it does that thing where it's like, I'm not quite sure. Let's go ahead and, not quite sure if that will have an impact. If we do, take 90 degrees, 0. This is, yeah, it's a really complicated for me. Yeah, of course. However, when we're looking at it, it's like, yeah. So with this, I'm looking at it and going through. So we're gonna change this vector, and that looks 90. It looks 90 to me. Let me take a closer look at this. It's not quite. It might be. Let's check. Alright, let's see. So we're gonna start on an edge, which is kind of a pain because it's all shade smooth right now. So let's go ahead and type just that one. It's also rotating along another axis, which is not preferred. All right. So I'm gonna take a sample. Let's go ahead and redo rotation. We want it to be, well, that vector is what it's going to be pointing at, so we want it to be pointing at the tangent. Normal, sorry. We're sampling the tangent here to put it on the normal, so I should do the same here. The really tricky part is getting, like, and why is it that it does that? I think that's the other problem I have, is like, I need this to go and I need the rotation. So I need the X to follow. I wonder if it's possible to plug this one in. Tangent. Doesn't look like it, because this one would be taking that rotation of the X. Okay. So that one, and we want to translate this. Yeah, because we're right. Oh, so if I set take this tangent. So this is what I'm rotating. This other one. And so if I go on the Z, I want it to be taking that, okay, and then it's still going on the Z, so that's why I need it in here, but it needs to go on the Z. So I'm gonna take the X, take the Y, tangent, 1, 1, combine. No, less, no, because we can't do that when you want to do vector math. Nope, this thing, let me find it. There we go. Multiply. Just to give it a value. Go Y, go X. So it's going on. Let's keep it to 1 for now. We want to pivot around the x-axis to get it to go. That looks promising. Take the tangent for this. Combine. Rotation for the x. Doesn't work. Right. Why would it not? So it's a matrix, multiply matrices. That's not a matrix though. So if I plug that, yeah. Combine transform, boom. Right. Matrix. There we go. This might do something. I don't know. We'll hope. This. Take this one. Take this one. And this one. Take another value. Value node value. And this goes into actually this one. And we want it to go into this, right? Multiply. It's a matrix, so it goes in there. It's a rotation. Rotation. If we take a local. Taking this, moving that over. Local is not doing too well. This. That seems like it would be a logical thing. but because there's no local, alright. Okay. So let's see. We want normal, maybe? We're just gonna try and figure this out. I mean, the really difficult part is like just kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't, and you know, hoping that it actually works. Let's see. Okay. But we still want it. We want to take the rotation, multiply it by rotating the points. I want to see how this one was done. So if we do this, boom. All right. So that's our point, that's our extrusion. We're taking the rotation. All right. So we took that, we rotated it so that it matched the normal. Okay. It would be possible to put that, the instances. Oh, I didn't think about this, but if those are instances, we could realize them and transform, possibly. Let's see. Take this geometry, take that. There we go. Taking the normal. Okay, so it's rotating. Right, because those are the points. I need it to take those points. So switch it if it's not less than those. So really what I have is those edges are true. And that's the original. I need to rotate it properly. Translate. And it's still going on the global Z. Okay. So going from there. Quite the challenge. Quite the challenge indeed. But I think we're figuring a little bit out as we go. So that's good. Huh. And so when we do that, we're gonna take this y, right? Because it's separating the y. But what I really want to do is move it along. If I take, maybe if I take reroute, I just take this, because that would be a different tangent possibly. That would be this. Tangent going into the vector of that, which puts take okay, so that's rotating that and aligning with that. So taking the normal of that might, let's go, that's the normal. Okay, that's still not what we want, because we want to be able to go on that. We want to go X, and I want the Y, but that's still going on the global Z, so rotation, that whole object not needed. Let's just go transition. The same thing, it's just less nodes. Always good to simplify. Sample, so this, and I'll go ahead and like take all these, grab that as well. Just put them down there for now. We just don't really want to clog up our workspace a lot. And let's see. Rotate text to the tangent, and we've moved this. We've moved that. Huh. That's there. Okay. So we want to move the. We want to move on. Okay, wherever this is, I need to find that. It's the height and the text height. Text height. Okay, so this is setting position of offset. Right. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't think about that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. Where else do I need that? Just kind of grabbing a few nodes makes it a lot easier. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna take, first off, move all that over. I don't need all this clutter. This one, that's the original. And then we need to set the position with the offset. Geometry. This, this. Okay, take that out. Take this. We're gonna set the offset. Yes, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Okay, this is already. Let's take. Okay, boom. That's a curve. We're taking that. We're gonna take the normal. Tangent. Align rotation. Put this in the vector X. Okay, let's see. What did I? So I took this. Took that. Divide. Because we're taking the text height and thickness. Okay, so text height as the transform and okay, text height. So that's different. What I need is not line thickness, height above dimension, or text height above dimension. This one, we're dividing the scale of the string in inches. Divide by 2, we're dividing that by the text height dimension, adding that to the y as the switch. That's the y, okay. Combine. Okay, let's do this. Nope, right. The amount of times that this works. Let's see. Let's see. Can I set the position? Position. No, it's still doing that. Right, okay, so right. We're translating this in the local axis, meaning that I need this some text. This is the text offset. We're adding the line thickness to the text height above dimension. This is all as the y. So right now it must be false. So false. When we have the, so we have the y, we're adding. So, okay, I need to figure out why it's doing that. This, it's taking the offset and the position. So if I store geometry float vector normal, let's just save that attribute. Vector. Right, of course. That's with the edge. Shoot. It's in an instance. I want to set the position. So we're setting position. Oh, it's also that rotation. Okay. And of course that's the tangent. So everything's going through this X tangent, so it should just work, but it doesn't, and so I need to set and that goes So which does not work. Ooh. Every time I see that, it's like, okay, is it working or is it not? So I'm saying transform. Not quite. Just getting there. Possibly. Why? So now that's probably the closest result I've had in a long time. I'm not sure if it's quite right. I'm checking on my second screen to see if it's, and it is moving under the sea. So what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need another one of these, I think. Plug that in there. Yeah, but that's all I'm gonna do for today. I've got to work on a few other things. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all have a great day, and I will, once I can find the end stream button,